So imagine you're being chased by a bear. Okay, right? You've got this like surge of adrenaline, like your heart is pounding. You're like, oh my gosh, is this like for real? You've got like this like gnarl, like roar in the back of your head, and you're like, do I run? Do I stay? Everyone's like, just stay, right? You're not supposed to move, which is so weird, by the way. Is this life threatening? Is this something where I'm like, oh my gosh, right? Your body's on just high alert, and you're like, wait, Vennessa, why are we talking about this? What does that have to do with healing? Everything. You know why it's everything. Most of my clients, actually all of my autoimmune clients, have some kind of have some kind of trauma behind their disease. Okay, and when your body's in this constant state of stress, okay, and I'm not talking about like, right, this week is school starting for us and birthdays and all the things, and everyone's at the end of the summer and they're like, oh my gosh, like moms are like, get out of the house, right? But what happens is when you're in that high state of stress, your body diverts all that precious energy it needs to do things like digestion and detoxification and, I mean, you name it, like skin stuff, right? All those things, repairing a wound, right? You get cuts or whatever, I don't know, any of that type of stuff, okay? Anything. It diverts all of that away from the healing process, okay? Including our brain, guys. Okay, our brain too is a part of all this. We cannot exclude it as a part of all the systems, okay? So those physiological changes, I was just talking to someone else about psychological stuff, but physiological changes, okay, that occur during a stress response. Okay, so what happens in a stress response? It hinders that healing process that we're all just dying for. We want to be healed. We want this much healing even, right? This much. And we have that increased heart rate. We have elevated blood pressure. Sometimes even too, our blood pressure just completely drops, right? And we just faint, right? So there's that too. You have hypervigilance, you got rapid breathing, right? Oh, just to like prime your muscles for like action, right? Doesn't need like deep breaths. It's like, quick, fuel me. Well, imagine being like that all the time. Okay? All the time. I'll say it again one more time. All the time. Your body doesn't know how to rest. It doesn't know how to digest. No wonder you have freaking gut issues. No wonder you have mood imbalances and you're like happy one moment and sad the next and mad and angry. That was a mad and angry, not sad. But you know what I mean? Like you have all these different things. You have diarrhea and then you have constipation. And then all of a sudden you're like, I can't have gluten, but then I can have it. And then I can't all of a sudden have avocados, but then I can have it. Like all these different things going on, right? And all the energy that typically is allocated to healing is redirected, and it's towards preparing for that fight or flight instead of things like, guys, y'all who have Hashimoto's or thyroid issues, I know deep down you have mitochondrial issues too. That's your energy production. It's your powerhouse. All that energy is stolen, okay? It's stolen, whatever words you want to use. I am not a grammar major, okay? Taken away and used for other things. Not cool, right? Not cool, okay? So when the body is in that constant survival mode, that hypervigilance all the time, its primary focus is physical survival. It could give a flying you-know-what about anything else, okay? It leaves that emotional well-being. It's like, screw the freaking emotions. I need no emotions in surviving, right? It doesn't matter if you're happy, sad, angry, what. You need to survive. Right? And that's what any of us with trauma, childhood abuse or neglect, emotional, whether it's emotional, verbal, physical, sexual, spiritual, y'all name it, like emotions are suppressed. They are suppressed. They don't matter. Your daily job is to make sure, okay, did I eat? Okay, do I have a place to sleep? Okay, did I make kind of everyone happy so they don't make me, so I don't get yelled at or anything like that? Okay, I'm good. All right, did I poop? Who cares? Doesn't matter. Right? Doesn't matter. Do I sleep well? I mean, I got some sleep. I was in my bed for most of the night, right? That's what happens. So it puts everything else, that emotional stuff, it puts on the back burner, shoves it down, y'all. First of all, everything starts in the nervous system, by the way. So that emotional healing is intricately intricately connected to physical healing. Y'all, the body keeps score. I don't even know what that book is. It's somewhere over here. But the body keeps score. It keeps freaking score. Y'all ever been like jumpy, like around your spouse, and they're like, what's up with you? Well, the body it senses something that's not right. Not that the spouse isn't right or whoever is around you is not right. It's just it senses something from the past. Okay? So what happens then is it's this delicate balance between stress response, that activation, okay, and the emotions around it, all right? So that constant state of hypervigilance, all right? Sorry, my nose really itches. Hypervigilance, okay? And that fear associated with being chased by a bear, it creates that emotional turmoil. It just makes you spin and spin. Your head just is constantly going, and your body's like, I'm stalling. My brain's got to figure out what's going on here, right? And I'm just telling you, y'all trauma survivors, you know what I'm talking about. And women, it's hard enough for us all because our brains are already crazy in the head. They already just go nonstop, right? And then you had trauma component on top of it, and chronic excessive stress over that long period of time. I feel you. I'm gonna start crying. But to truly heal, the body needs a different environment. Okay, I'm not saying get up and move. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying it needs a different environment. It needs that one of like relaxation. I know that's freaking hard. I know. You know how many years I've spent trying to relax? Or people are like, slow down. I'm like, y'all, I have slowed down. Y'all would have seen me like 15 years ago. Like, I have slowed down, right? Safety. That's always, any therapist will tell you who's dealt with trauma healing. Safety is number one. You make sure you're safe. You feel safe. Don't let anyone else tell you what safe is. Okay? To you figure out what safety is. You work with a therapist if you need help with that. Okay? And reduce stress. I don't care what you have to do. I had to stop everything for a couple of years, like everything. And that was hard for me. Very, very hard for me. But you know what? I've seen it personally. I've seen it in clients over the past few years, that slowing down and working on ourselves and reducing that hypervigilance, getting our emotional state back to where it's supposed to be. Oh my gosh, that ebb and flow of like physical and emotion together throughout your day and throughout your weeks is, oh my gosh, it's amazing. So you have to actively manage your stress. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Parents out there, moms, like all that stuff, like it is difficult. I get it. That's why you want to work with someone like me. Like, because I get it. I've been there and I've done it. And I continue to learn and I continue to grow and I continue to keep serving you guys. Okay. So, but you got to give yourself grace. You got to give yourself compassion. You got to give yourself grace. You got to say, hey, you know what? I did better than I did last time. Maybe I didn't do as good last time either, but you know what? I'm still keeping going. I'm not the old me. Everyone's like, I want to go back to the old me because it's safe. No, you're not the old you. You're not. That's not what we do. We don't do the old you. We're designing the best you that a lot of you as trauma survivors never had. But that's the cool thing, is we're designing that. Okay, so you got to do the best you can. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm like, you got to do the best that you can. Okay. And my biggest thing too is you got to get tested, okay? Because when we are trauma survivors and things, like I said, our emotions have been depleted, have been suppressed, our minerals in our bodies have been depleted, or they're stealing from each other. They are stealing from each other, and it's not cool, okay? So that's a result of all the stress. So, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you don't know what test to get or anything like that, please check out my fatigue jumpstart program, and that'll all be listed in the comments there and then the notes. And it's designed to help you understand your state of stress. Legit. I wish I had this years ago because it would have saved me a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of stress in general. Stress. So you can give your body the support that it needs. Your whole body, from head to toe to front to back, inside, outside. Okay? Huge. Simple, cost effective. It is, like I said, the great jumpstart if you're not ready to just dive full in one-to-one with me. Okay? So we want to do that. We want to balance it all out and understand what you need. And if this resonated with you, of course, drop me some love. State of comments. join in on the program, send me a message, share with a friend, all those things. All right, let's keep on designing the best you. We'll see you next week.